It starts with a simple bet. A few dollars, a quick win, money moving fast. For many, it doesn't feel like a risk, just another play. But behind the flashes of quick cash, something bigger is happening. The sports gambling market has exploded, growing from $4.8 billion in 2017 to $147 billion in 2024. What was once a pastime is now changing how a generation experiences sports.
Anita Maxine.
It's no longer a trend, it's a surge. In just the past year, 1 in 10 U.S. adults have placed a sports bet. Now, with 39 states offering legal sports gambling, the game is no longer confined. It's everywhere. So we set out, traveling from campus to campus, listening to young adults as they experience it firsthand.
Yeah, so I've been doing it for about 4 years. 3 years just picking over-unders on Prize Picks, and then about a year on Hard Rock doing actual moneyline picks.
Yeah, I've been sports betting probably since my freshman year. I think I got into it right as I got into college. I got to do my own thing, and then some of my other boys were sports betting.
Yeah, I've been doing it probably, honestly, 10 years or so, even starting just from fantasy football and stuff, doing that stuff, and then more recently doing more Prize Picks, Hard Rock, all that.
So I've been involved in sports betting since last summer, and just keep coming back because I watch sports for fun all the time, and just betting on it makes it a lot more fun, just having something to root for.
Yeah, so I'd say I've been betting for probably 4-ish years now. Ever since I turned 18, I was able to find a early loophole through this app called Flip, so I started betting a good amount then, and then flash forward 4 years now, I'm probably over 10 grand in the hole, so.
For that student, it wasn't just entertainment. It became a $10,000 loss before even reaching his junior year of college. Stories like that are becoming harder to ignore. With mobile sports betting embedded into everyday life, access is constant and immediate. The American Gaming Association reports billions of wagers are placed each year through mobile betting platforms, with users quickly shifting from the occasional bets to routine repeated play. What once required a trip to a casino now happens anywhere, on campus, at home, even at the office. Most sports bettors are young men in their 20s and 30s, many already engaged sports fans, pulled in by constant game coverage, live betting prompts, and apps designed for instant, repeated play.
Young men are competitive. They're taught to suppress their emotions, and they love sports, so it markets to them. If they see it advertised, especially the younger people, they think it must be okay. It's everywhere. You can get it on your phone. So they, especially the younger adults, they don't realize how much of a issue it can be to them.
Everywhere you look, betting has become a part of the sports experience. Companies like DraftKings, FanDuel, Caesars, BetMGM, and Hard Rock Casino have flooded the sports world with aggressive marketing. Turn on a game or scroll through your phone, and it's almost impossible to avoid constant ads pushing bonuses, boosts, and risk-free bets.
Nowadays, everyone's gambling on their phone, so it's way easier access. You don't have to drive out to go gamble. You can just deposit through. Everything's so digital.
From money lines to overs and unders, player props to parlays, the options feel endless. Every game becomes a menu of bets, each one promising a different outcome. And sometimes it hits. A long shot lands, the payout spikes, and for a moment, it all feels worth it.
100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600.
When those bets hit, the energy is absolutely electric. Friends celebrating, phones flashing, and bars erupting with all eyes on the screen. In those moments, it's easy to see why people keep coming back, because that same rush that comes from winning is also what keeps the cycle going.
Well, it's no different than alcohol or drugs. You're feeding that dopamine in your brain, and again, once you start that activity and your brain gets used to it, it's hard to stop. Their brain tricks them into thinking that if they continue to gamble, that next big win will solve everything, and it just continues over and over again.
I wake up every day, tell myself I'm not gonna bet, and then I look at the lines and I'm like, all right, well that looks pretty free. I'll get some money there. It's like the idea that there's no way I lose back to back. Got to chase that winning or chase that loss back.
You can flip a lot, like a little less money to a lot of money. Feel me? Like you can go from like $20 to $100, like that.
The ability to just make as much money as they possibly can. If the next one hits or something like that, make it all back. You know, not be down anymore. I'd say that's definitely what keeps my buddies coming back.
Yeah, I have a few friends who do. They put in that last 20, doesn't hit. Next day they put in another 20, and keep that cycle going.
A 2025 study from the American Gaming Association found that at least 50% of college students have placed a sports bet in some form. And among young bettors, nearly 1 in 10 report losing over $500 in a single day, which can quietly add up over time. On campuses across the country, those numbers are becoming real stories, not just statistics.
I know a potter that lost a band off of like a $200 play.
I'm saying it can get very addicting. Like, if you start betting like me every day, you crash out sometimes, you feel me, you lose a couple dollars, you lose a couple days.
While it all starts with a simple tap on your phone, it can quickly end with an empty wallet. And when the losses stack up, the reaction can turn into frustration, anger, and in some cases, full-on crash outs when a bet doesn't go their way. What feels like a game at times can quickly turn into something far more serious. And for some, the impact of gambling can carry real consequences.
Gambling is one of the top addictions for suicide. 1 out of 5 gambling addicts will attempt suicide. So it's a very serious thing, but we normalize it by having it everywhere.
Even after hearing the darkest outcomes, not every story ends that way. For some students, it becomes a turning point, choosing to step back, avoid the cycle, and focus their time and money elsewhere, away from the bets and back into something more productive.
I look for things outside of sports betting to give me that same dopamine, like, you know, running or reading. Some things that are a little bit more sustainable than maybe like losing it all in one bet, you know?
If it's substantial money, like the day I'm in college and I got stuff to pay for. So when it comes to that, I ain't got time for that for real.
Like if you want to make a bet, just talking to your friends, like I bet this team gonna win, I bet this team gonna win. Bet with exercise, don't bet with money. Losing money in this economy is not a good thing to do.
On college campuses, sports betting has become a part of the culture, something as routine as just walking to class. But behind the excitement, the risks are real, and for some, the consequences run deeper than expected. For those struggling to step away, there are real options, real support, and real ways to take control.
It's okay to try to ask for help. The earlier, the better. There's therapy, there's group therapy that can help and not just treat the addiction of gambling, but also the underlying reason as to why that addiction is fueling something within you.